Space powers are special abilities that can help you catch up when you're behind, make things harder for your opponents, or set up cool combos to win with style. Before the start of a game, everyone picks one space power from the 8 available. A space power, or SP for short, can be used at any time during a player's turn. When an SP hasn't been used, it must be kept face up. When it's ready to be used, players flip it face down and carry out the ability. Outside of special circumstances, a space power can only be used one time each game, so make sure you pick the best time to use them. But what are these space powers, and how can they be used to your advantage? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's time to take a deep dive into each space power so you can decide which character you'd like to master. Let's start with Regini's space power, Flame Shot. Remove the top card of the stack and place it at the top of the deck. If you're in a situation where you cannot play a card on the stack, this power allows you to remove that card and match with the card under it. Next up, we have Dandan and his tricky technique, Octopus Arm. Select 2 cards and swap them. You can choose from any player's hand, stack top, or deck top. This can be used in many ways. Remember, a player's turn is considered complete whenever they play a card from their hand on the stack. So, with Dandan's SP, you could swap the card on the stack with the card in your hand and end your turn. Or, you could use it to swap one of your cards with another player to see what you end up with. When swapping with other players, you're not allowed to take a look at their hand before choosing what to take. Everything must be done blindly. Lastly, stack top and deck top means you cannot swap a card under the top card of those piles. So no searching the stack or deck for the perfect card to swap with. Nice try though. Moving on to Abby and her sharp scissor hands. Look at the top 2 cards of the deck, keep one and return the other. This space power should be used when you have no cards to play or if you're fishing for a combo piece. It may not seem like a powerful skill at first, but in the right hands, it can be used to cut your way to a surprising victory. Let's take a look at Edwin's space power. Keep trying. Take another turn. Welcome to the simplest SP in the game, and a very powerful one. A common combo would be to wait until you have a blank and any other card. You play the blank, use Edwin's space power, then play the next card to win the game. This power is also very strong when used alongside double matches. Remember, when you land a double match, you're able to take another turn, which means if you use Edwin after this extra turn, you can take another turn. Amazing! On the topic of multiple turns, let's take a look at TEYA's space power, Meditate. Skip your turn. On your next turn, take 2 turns in a row. TEYA's ability is identical to Edwin's, except you can use it to skip your turn first. This is very useful when you have no cards to play since you won't have to draw to look for a match. If you only have 1 card to play when your double turn rolls around, you don't have to draw any cards on your second turn. This is because extra turns from a space power or a double match are considered bonuses, so you don't have to force yourself to find a card to play if you don't have any matches. Instead, you're free to end your turn. Up next we have Shibon and his space power, Little Teacher. Increase or decrease the number of letters in a word by 1 until your next turn. You can use this to manipulate the letters in a word to suit your needs. For example, if you have a card with 5 letters but the card on the stack has 4, you can change your card to 4 letters and match with it. You can even use it after playing a card to reduce the odds of another player being able to match with it. For instance, you could reduce a 3-letter word to a 2-letter word, which would make it impossible to do a letter count match since TEYA has no 2-letter word cards. Very clever stuff. Big Boy Cashew is here to break hearts with his space power, Rule Breaker. Draw a card, play it without needing to match, or give it to another player. This gives you some nice options to help you catch up or slow someone else down. if you decide to give a drawn card to another player, you still need to play another card on the stack to complete your turn. Keep that in mind and make a smooth choice. Last but not least, we have the shape-shifting Harper and her power, Transform. Draw a card. Transform the character on it into a character of your choice until your next turn is finished. This can be used to force a match when you don't have anything to play, but it can also be used to make other players make mistakes since the character you drew and played is no longer the character presented. So if another player tries to do a character match without realizing you have transformed it, they will have to draw 3 cards and end their turn, which is the usual punishment for making a mistake. When using this power, the player must show everyone the card and announce who they have transformed it into. So you can't draw a card, transform it in secret, and then play it at the start of your next turn. That would be cheating. And that's it! Now you know how to use all 8 space powers. Play around with everyone and figure out who you're the most comfortable with. Try to think outside the box to find unique ways to use each SP and make your games even more fun. Once you've mastered each power, why not try mixing and matching by choosing more than one? Playing with 4 people, then everyone can choose 2 powers. Playing 1v1, then maybe the 2 of you can choose 4 powers each. When using more than one space power, you can use them sparingly 1 turn at a time, or you can build up for a crazy explosive combo and use all of them in 1 turn. The choice is yours.